Hi everybody, it's Anne here from annshappystampers.co.uk and I'm back with another tutorial, and today we're going to make a cute little candle, a little box that holds 4 of these lovely little tea lights, and they are gorgeous. There's cinnamon and apple, and just to make them, you know, a bit prettier, I've put some washi tape on here. Now this is a one I think it's coordinates with the Love and Affection suite. So I've got one left to do, and it's just a case of popping it on. I mean, this fits really well, so you don't have to trim it or anything. So, you know, you can pop this on, use whatever design you like. But I thought this was, you know, quite sparkly and Christmas looking because it's got little gold dots on it. So there we go, and then just snip it off, and we have some nice little, you know, jazzed up candles, which I think is so much better than just the plain ones. So that's the candles, and what you're going to need to make this box is, I'm using cherry cobbler, and I'm using this DSP is from Warmth and Cheer. I absolutely love this DSP. I didn't think I would actually when I got it, but now it's just, I'm in love with it. It's just beautiful. So the cherry cobbler needs to measure 10 1/4 by 6 1/4 inches. The DSP, you will need a piece measuring 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and you will need 3 little pieces which all measure 3 pieces which all measure 3 1/8 by 5/8 of an inch. And if you go onto my blog, all the measurements will be there in centimetres as well. So there's a link if you click on the see more, and there'll be all the links to my Facebook, Pinterest, shop now, if you would like to purchase any of the products, and also the blog post to this project. I'm using this lovely stamp set which is called Oh What Fun, and I think it's fantastic. There's some brilliant sentiments on here. You know, you've got little baubles, little bits of holly. You know, you can decorate your sentiments up a bit more. And I'm going to use Wishing You a Sweet Season. And then it also, at the minute, there's 25% off this stamp set. So, you know, it's a real bargain really, and there's quite a few more. So if you have a look on my shop, it'll tell you which ones are discounted. But I think it's till the end of the month. But yeah, there's I got 25% off that. And I'm also using the stitch shapes, which I love these, and I'm using the second largest square for that. Okay, so let's get on with it. So scoreboard out, and what you need to do is, on the long side, because it's going to be reinforced as well, so it's going to be a really strong little box. So on the long side you need to score it at 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2 inches, 4 3/4 inches, 5 1/2 inches, 8 3/4 inches, and 9 1/2 inches. Okay, so turn it to the short side, and now you want to score it at 3/4 of an inch again. 1 1/2 inches, 4 3/4 inches, and 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so that is what you'll have. And then we're just going to start snipping away what we don't need. And it's such a miserable rainy day today. Honestly, it's horrible outside. So what we want to do is one of the ends, it doesn't really matter which one you start with because they're all the same. So what you want to do is, let me get this right. Yeah, so we need to have it this way, so the long side is towards you. So we need to snip straight up here, okay, and then turn it this way so you've got the short side here, and then we need to take away these two bottom squares, okay, so you'll have that. Turn it back so you've got the long side here, and we need to remove this little square here, okay, so you'll have that. And then if you just snip up here to create a little tab, snip here and then snip, whoops, I can get it, snip there as well, okay, and then turn it round, and you just want to repeat the same thing on this side, okay. So you need to snip up here, snip away these two bottom squares and remove this end square here, and do the same, just a little notch out of here and here and here, okay, so that's what you should have. Now move along to these two little squares here and just cut right up to the second score line, and then just remove the bottom square, and then just cut up to here as well to create a little tab. Then take a little piece out of here and a little piece out of here, okay, and then move along. So we're going to do the same on this, what we did on this end. So you need to cut up here, remove the two bottom squares and cut away the end square, and a little piece from here and a little piece from here, and then turn it round, do the same again. Damn, I cut the wrong piece. No, I haven't. I thought I'd cut it wrong there. And the sides, we need to take a little piece out of there. Okay, so that's what you should be left with. Right, so I'm going to fold and burnish and show you how it's going to go together. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is all of these are going to get folded in because these are the reinforced pieces, because like I say, it's going to be a really thick little box, and then basically it's just going to fold like this, and then it's just going to close over itself. Okay, so this is going to be the top of my box. You can have any side you want because they're both the same. So I want my DSP on here, and I'm just going to use some Tombow for this. Oops. Okay, I wonder if you can hear the rain. It's honestly chucking it down today. So I've got to go out soon as well. Oh, right, so that's stuck on there. So that's going to be the front of my box. And then my three little pieces I have here on these sections here, I want to pop them on there because they're going to just be a nice little decoration on the side of the box. So again, I'm just going to pop some glue, yeah, because we're going to need to punch out a little finger opening as well before we stick it together, just to make it a bit easier for the person to open it really. Okay, so last one, whoops, on here. Okay, so that's what you should have. Now, the front of our box will be like this, so we need to punch a little finger hole in here. So I'm just going to pop the punch in. I hope it goes through actually because it's quite thick, and I'm just going to punch about 1/4 of it. Yeah, that's gone through. And just all that is for is, you know, when they're opening the box, they can actually get it open. So you want to, you know, or you could just have it open like this and just punch a hole out this way. You know, it's the same thing, I suppose, if it's too thick and it won't go through. But it should do. Right, so let's pop the box together. So turn it over and you've got 2, 4, 6 little tabs. You're going to want to put tape on all 6 of them. And so put tape on all 6 of these, excuse me, just like that. And then turn it over. And you're going to want to put tape down all of these little pieces here. So this one, them 2, and them 2, and this one, because they're going to get stuck like that to reinforce it. Okay, so I'm going to do that and I'll be back when it's done, just to save a bit of time on the video. Okay, so I've done all of the tape, so that's what you should have. Tape on all 6 of them, turn it over and tape on all these little extra flaps, which is there's 6 of them. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get our flaps taped down for our reinforced part. So if we remove all of the tape, and it's basically just a case of, you know, sticking it like that, securing it down, just all the way around. I really hope it stops raining or, you know, dies off a little bit, because honestly I'm going to get drenched. It's absolutely thrown it down. And then this bit I just stuck the tape and just missed the little hole. You don't want to tape over that, you know, because it'll stick through there. Okay, so there we go. It's looking really nice, and it's going to be a, you know, a really solid professional little box, this. So now we're going to put it together. So I'm going to peel the tape off the back. So what's going to happen here is this is just going to go around and attach to there. Okay, because that'll be the back of our box, well, the inside of our box. And then these two little pieces here are going to go, and they're going to fold to the side. Okay, don't stick them to that bit, because otherwise you'll have problems. So the two side pieces, that's why if you put your DSP on as well first, it helps you know which way your box is going. So the two little side pieces are going to go onto the bottom here. Okay, just like that. And then these little bits here are going to go under here, and that's going to create like the opening of our box. So peel this off. That's going to go under there. And that's going to go under there. There we go, and that's what you should have. And basically it just folds down, and it's got quite a tight little opening as well, so you know it's not going to like flap open and closed. Yeah, so just make sure, I probably could have put a bit more tape, but make sure you have plenty tape on the sides, because it'll just keep it, you know, it needs to be right on all the sides. And I've only put one piece in the middle. I should have probably put more, but anyway, that's what's going to happen. It closes like that. It's quite tight as well, so I just think it's a great little box, really. So our little candles can now go in, and it holds 4 of these, because I measured the box around it, made the box around the candles. So there's our little Christmas candles in. And then to decorate it, I've got my Wishing You a Sweet Season mounted, and I've got a little scrap of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to heat emboss it in gold, because I think that'll just set it off quite nicely. So I'm just going to get a scrap. So we'll just wipe this over. I've got some Versamark here. Ink up the stamp. I love this stamp set. I think it's great, especially with 25% off. You know, you really can't go wrong. So let's just stamp this in the middle, so we've got enough room for our framelit to go around. Okay. And then I've got some gold embossing powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle this over the stamped image. Yeah, doesn't that look beautiful? Especially when we heat set it, I think it's going to look really nice. So I'll let the heat tool heat up for a minute or so. Just have less chance of warping the card as much if you let it heat up, because obviously it doesn't need as long, you don't need to hold it as long onto the card. So I find if you get the heat tool really hot, it definitely doesn't, you know, warp the card as much. So I think that's enough. and then we'll heat set it now. There we go. Yes, that looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, so we're just going to grab our... I've got my little machine here, and the camera's just about to run out. My battery as well, so I just hope it lasts till the end, please. So I'm going to run this through. Run it back. I love these dies as well, they're just fantastic. Okay, so that's that, and I've got some little dimensionals somewhere here. And I'm just going to stick these onto the back and stick it on the top of our box. If the battery doesn't run out. I hope it doesn't. I thought it was full, but obviously not. Okay, so that is our little sentiment done, and I'm just going to pop this. Yeah, I might pop it at the back actually, because I want to put some of the craft trim, the rope trim on. So I've got a bit of this, and I'm just going to cut some off, and I'm just going to tie it around the front of the box, as I think this goes lovely with this DSP. It's such nice trim as well, it's beautiful, I love it. So I've got a little bow, our trim, just trim that off. And there we go. I hope you like it. I think it's a great little, you know, make, great for teachers. That's where this one will be going to one of my daughter's teachers, because, you know, we send them to a lot of the assistants and everything as well. So yeah, I hope you like it. So all the info will be on my blog, and I'll be back again soon with another tutorial. So until then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.